We have some new developments in the Panama Papers investigation. Agents from the Canada Revenue Agency today launched a major raid looking for evidence of possible tax evasion. Warrants were executed in Calgary, West Vancouver, and the Greater Toronto area. The CBC's Zach Dubinsky joins us now with details. Zach, what have you learned about the CRA's actions today?
So, Peter, let's go back just a little bit. April of 2016, CBC and its global media partners revealed the existence of the Panama Papers to the world. That's that huge leak of offshore financial records, secret bank accounts, offshore corporations that had been hidden from tax agencies around the world. A month later, the CRA got its hands on the full Panama Papers leak and said it was starting to investigate. And shortly after that, we found out from the CRA that they had started criminal investigations. But they didn't give us any details. They wouldn't tell us who was being investigated or where or how many people. So finally today, we get the first glimpse of what's been happening behind the scenes in these CRA investigations. Today, the CRA is telling us that this very day in West Vancouver, in Calgary, and in Toronto, 30 CRA officers raided 3 separate locations. They were backed up by police, by RCMP, and by local police. We presume that they would have seized documents, and we'll be able to find out in the weeks ahead more details on exactly what they were going after and what this was all about. The CRA said in its statement that this is all part of a criminal investigation into offshore-based tax avoidance. They said that so far their officers have identified, quote, a series of transactions involving foreign corporations and several transfers through offshore bank accounts. So that's what the CRA is looking into, and that's what we'll hopefully know more about in the weeks to come.
Zach, raids like this, I mean, I've seen them so many times in biker trials and drug investigations. I don't think I've ever seen them involving the CRA and tax policy. How unusual is this?
That's right. For offshore tax evasion cases, experts tell us it's incredibly rare that the CRA takes the kinds of extraordinary measures we see in a more typical criminal investigation. If you ask the CRA, they'll tell you that they have already executed a number of search warrants with respect to the Panama Papers. But I've pressed for details on that for more than a year now and have never been able to verify any of their claims. So it seems, based on the information we can actually point to, this is a very rare measure. And this is certainly the first time ever that in terms of an offshore tax evasion case where the CRA got its hands on a leak. This is the first time we're ever seeing the CRA take public steps to announce publicly on the day that it happened that they've conducted raids and that they have seized material.
Good stuff, Zach. Thanks for this.
Thank you.
The CBC's Zach Dubinsky.